There are 7 marketing myths that are absolutely destroying the income you make, the conversions you make, and I see them everywhere, and I'm going to explain to you why these myths are so awful. And the first massive myth or mistake that you are making is A/B or split testing. So A/B testing, or sometimes called split testing, works really, really well when you have a ton of traffic and you're trying to optimize for the best amount of conversions. Most of you have a problem that like your offer isn't converting, people aren't moving to the next stage, in the funnel, or that you're not getting enough traffic in the first place. And so we think, or we're told, well, if I create split tests at each stage in the funnel, maybe with the subject lines, maybe with the sales page, or like the buy now button, everyone's like, we'll change the color slightly, that somehow that will magically fix the entire process. And I got news for you, that is a massive, massive waste of time. If we look at this funnel here, and we start with traffic, leads, sales, and profit, most of you have got no idea how to drive more traffic. So the idea of split testing every little stage of your offer all the way down the funnel when you haven't had someone go through it at all yet and buy is crazy to me. Instead, what you should be doing is spending way more time focusing on the offer stage between the traffic and the leads and the sales in general, and I'll talk about how you can do that in a bit, rather than trying to split test every little thing. Now, if you are already getting 10,000 views a month to a page or to a piece of content or to an offer, by all means, start thinking, well, we know that this only converts at 10%. We know that this converts at 5%. We know that this converts at 1%. Absolutely. Start split testing to see, can we get this up to 12? Can we get this up to 6? Can we get this up to 2? That's fine. But if you have only had 100 people even start the process and none of them have come through, it's not a split testing thing. It's not a button color that you need to change. You need to work on your offer. The second mistake I see, and nothing will drain your energy quicker than feeling the need to copy what the big players do and how they spend their time and all the money that they have trying to be everywhere. I see this as advice constantly from some of the biggest players in the market, like people with literal multi-million-dollar media companies, and they say, oh, it's really simple. I just film one video and then that goes across to TikTok, that goes across to YouTube. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have Pinterest. It becomes an email. We write a book about it. We then do a speaking platform engagement about it. I'll do a webinar. You don't need to be everywhere. There are enough people on one platform. Where this comes from, by the way, is the idea that if you're one person and you need to be seen to be like larger and to collect sort of like a larger pool of potential audience out there, the idea is that your audience is segmented across multiple different sort of platforms, right? Like LinkedIn, Facebook, who uses Facebook anymore? Instagram, YouTube, I don't know, TikTok, whatever. And you can create one piece of content that can kind of like be split out amongst them. And that also, for some reason, you should be creating individual pieces of content for this. It's absolutely insane. If you have and you have your business manager, you have a sales manager, you have a marketing team, you have a media team, you have an editor, you have someone who's basically a paid content creator or community manager, then by all means, get them to do all of that shit and syndicate it across. You doing it as one person, even you doing it with just 2 or 3 of these, will absolutely drain everything you've got. Think about the next goal you have, like on your income chart, and think, do I really need to be everywhere to do that? I remember being told in 2022 maybe that I should start like doing cross promotion and what do they call it? Content repurposing, and push everything everywhere. And our team were exhausted and we stopped doing it. We focused everything on one platform, the platform we're currently on YouTube, and our income grew exponentially. And the amount of time we spent on all of those platforms dropped. We're actually way happier just doing it on one. If you can afford to pay someone to do all that stuff for you, then by all means do it. But right now, where you are trying to be everywhere is a complete waste of your time. Right, mistake number 3. Do you remember when chatbots were all the rage? When people were like, we're going to have this little like complex diagram and each kind of conversation that they have will get routed through. And then there was like NFTs, they were big. And now the big one is AI. That's what everyone talks about. People jump on trends because they either think it's a fast track to making a lot of money, or they are worried that the money will run out when the opportunity dies. Basing how successful or how important a new technology or trend will be on how many people essentially got lucky and got rich quickly is like treating the lottery as a long-term strategy for building wealth. Think about it like this. If something does make success easier, let's say that this is your work and all of a sudden AI comes along and people over time realize that actually it does make a business more profitable. It does make a person more efficient. If something does do all of that, it will actually be easier and faster to be more with it in the future. The opportunity doesn't disappear. It only gets better and more inclusive. If, however, you have things like NFTs that all of a sudden die off, you don't want to be coming in at this point, which I see a lot. Just leave it. If it starts to become so obvious that your business needs it, then absolutely go for it. Think about the car. More wealth has been created long after the initial first wave of car manufacturing. Don't feel you need to jump on trends. Let them play out. And if they truly are valuable, if they truly are useful, then by definition, they will stick around. And the irony is they end up becoming even easier to make money off of afterwards. Right, this fourth one I see absolutely everywhere, and I'm partly guilty for perpetuating this myth. Now, a lot of people get focused on the idea of diversification. I've talked about this in another video, and the idea of having like lots of sources of income. Now, the problem is that most people haven't figured out what their core offer is. And so when we then hear, well, you need to have a free version and a tripwire version and a core version and a recurring revenue version and a high ticket version, we immediately begin to split our focus, this is an I by the way, on all these different areas. And all that does, it's like starting 5 races at once. Product ladders or offer stacks, the idea of having like a more affordable version and then a more sort of profitable premium version. It does work. It absolutely works. I don't want to say it doesn't work. My problem is the timing at which people apply this to their business. This stuff only works when you have a really, really solid core offer to start with. Once you've started generating maybe $10,000 a month in your core offer, then by all means start looking at, well, what does a recurring revenue product look like? Or can we turn this into a recurring revenue product? Or can we create a high ticket offer? Maybe you do have a high ticket offer and you think we're going to start with $25,000. Your first priority is actually, let's make this one way more profitable first. Common misconception, your high ticket product should actually be your most profitable product, and then start working back down. Don't try to think, well, I need to have all of this at once in order to be successful. Yes, statistically, if you sell someone a $10 product or a $1,000 product, they are more likely to buy from you your high ticket or your recurring revenue product or whatever. But that doesn't mean you have to have that and that you can only sell those products to people. I get this email all the time from people saying, why are you selling me this product? I haven't bought anything else from you yet. I'm like, that is such an insane way of thinking. I've never said that. What I've said is that you are more likely, not you are the only likelihood. So make sure you have a core offer that converts. Make sure that you're making money with that. Then start thinking about, can we start looking into other areas and improving our product offering? By the way, if you want this whiteboard and if you want my list of 7 classic marketing mistakes, along with all my notes and my cliff notes and just as a bullet point, by all means, use the link down below and I'll send that to you absolutely free. That's if you want to know what these 7 myths are, or if you want this whiteboard just as some notes for you to take away and use at another time. Number 5, I see tracking every single lead and click and sale and conversion and percentage and revenue and all of that, absolutely everything, is utter busy work. It's a really good way of avoiding doing the one thing that actually matters, and that's going out and selling. I see so many people building software and APIs and tracking software and databases to cover every possible aspect within their business. Half the time they don't even look at those reports, but they think, well, I need to track everything to figure it out. It's a really good way of looking like you're really working on something, when really, most of the time, what you actually need to be doing is going out and talking to more customers or working on your offer. Everyone always agrees with this next point that I make, but then when it comes to them, go, no, but I'm slightly different. The right offer to the right audience will always convert better than the wrong offer to the wrong audience. And while you might go, yeah, and that makes sense, why are you then figuring out and working on every single individual part of those micro analytics? When you're starting out, measuring, the only 3 things that you need to measure is 1, how much money you've got, how many sales you've made, and how many customers you've spoken to. If you don't know those numbers, there is no point in measuring all of the micro conversion rates going up the funnel. We are tricked into thinking that measuring click-through rates and average view durations and all of this kind of stuff and conversion rates will somehow improve our sales. If you want more traffic, then create more content and buy more ads. If you still need more traffic, then improve that content or improve those ads. Right now, measuring the minutia between each stage is only going to cause analysis paralysis. Do the hard work, put more things out there that will fail, rather than trying to optimize tiny things that only matter when you're getting tens of thousands of clicks through anyway. Optimize what is currently working. Don't try to optimize failure out of any future projects. Right, if you thought the previous ones were controversial, this is probably my most unhinged take. Stop wasting time creating good content. When we start, we want to show off how much knowledge we have, and we all say, look, I just want to produce, really valuable, no fluff, useful, valuable content. And I just want to help people, right? I just want to tell people what to do. I'm just going to give them a list, and it's going to be super valuable, and I'm just going to make a bullet list of everything they need to do. I can tell you right now that content like that does not get the reach or the recognition that it deserves. Prove me wrong. Go out there, create 10 posts that are just plain helpful, and see how much recognition they get, see how much traffic they get. I believe that what people are actually doing with this is they are trying to create content that will impress other people in their niche, like their colleagues, their peers. They create content that other marketers say is good or technically correct. The problem with this is that other marketers aren't your customers. You need to focus on creating content that your customers say is good. And what your customers and what your peers say are good are 2 completely different things. What that means is that your content will probably be dumbed down. It will be seen as more approachable. Focus on the goals that your customers have, not the methodology that you and your colleagues would use. Yes, some people will comment and say, oh my God, this is so dumb, everyone knows this. That's actually how you know you're on the right track. First of all, if that person is commenting that, why are they watching this in the first place? If you focus on creating content that your audience wants, focus on their goals. Don't try to make good content. Instead, focus on content that your customers want to see, even if it feels like you're selling out a little bit. Now, this final sort of point is something that people way overvalue. If you come up with an offer that is genuinely good, and when I say offer, I'm usually saying when you're solving a specific problem for a specific audience. For example, helping small micro roasting coffee companies land 5 large customers, right? That's an offer. The right offer to the right person will always convert better than the wrong offer to the wrong person. Now that again sounds obvious and everyone agrees with it, but lots of people believe that the way to fix an offer not working when it's clearly not converting is they think, well, if I do really good copywriting here, then somehow magically my sales will pick up. The reality is if you have the problem and the audience and they overlap, in there is your offer. If your problem is ill-defined and your audience is ill-defined, that gap cannot be filled with copy. You are better off having a badly written offer and a bad looking picture and a bad looking social media post as long as the problem and the audience are clearly defined and that they overlap. Dentists want patients, coaches want clients, YouTubers want views, podcasters want subscribers. If you aren't able to bridge those two things, creating incredible copy or trying to get perfect copy will not suddenly magically make those two things overlap. You are better off focusing on creating a better offer and understanding your audience and understanding their problem rather than trying to get that offer perfect. It just doesn't happen like that. Now, if you want to know what the most high value, high income skill is that you can learn, you can watch this video here, where I'm going to break down the single most valuable thing that you could possibly learn if you want to earn way more money than ever before, even if you're starting from scratch, even if you're an absolute beginner, and I'll talk about some other high value skills as well. So make sure you go ahead and watch this video right here.